Alright guys, a real quick update here for you because this whole FTX debacle has caused some really interesting effects on the market, which I think you guys should be aware of. And particularly, look at the order book here. Do you see what's going on here? I've been watching this thing all day long and never have I seen any additional sell orders pop in here. So the biggest sort of sell orders are up to 1650 and then nobody else is willing to sell after that. See here? There's nobody else selling. The only bit of order book that's actually filled up is this thing here. Compare this to the buy order side, you can see it's much bigger. But the sell order side, very thin. And I want to kind of direct your attention over here to this horribly huge tall wicks. Now this could just be Bitstamp. I haven't checked other exchanges. But Bitstamp has been known to occasionally be a little bit thin on liquidity, which is why it's a good place to hunt for those flash crashes. Okay, especially on, let's say, a euro pair, which could be even thinner liquidity than a dollar pair. So it's good. These are good things to know because you can actually make money with this sort of information. But what's actually happening right now is the other way around. Somebody put a big buy order and didn't look at the order book and wasn't careful what they were doing, and they paid a lot more for it than they would have otherwise needed to. Yes, you're right, guys. These are 4-hour candles, right? So you might be thinking this is just over the course of 4 hours the price fluctuated this much. And okay, if we take a measuring tape here and do measurement, yeah, it's only 3.6%, but that's huge. But I'm going to show you guys, this happened in a 1 minute candle. This was a single huge order that did this. I don't know who this was, but I think it's really interesting because we all know that the FTX also was doing market making. And apparently a bunch of other market makers were involved as well with FTX. And potentially all of these guys are now gone, or at least they have withdrawn some of the liquidity. And because they might be facing some insolvency issues as well. So this is a really interesting thing to note, because if we do see a flash crash, it could be one of epic proportions. Okay, so it could be a good time to put some of those fishing orders, what you call them, like really low orders if the price crashes like really crazy, if somebody big comes in and sells. Although the buy side is currently reasonably well supported, but still, markets are behaving weirdly. So let's zoom in to just go for 5 minutes initially. Well, let's do 1 hour. So we need to stay here. Let's zoom into 15 minutes. You see, it's still just the one candle. See the big volume here? See the big volume here? This was a big, the same sort of thing happened here. And I'm going to go all the way into 1 minute, guys. You can see this was just one single order like this. So I'm going to have to search around a little bit for it, but here it is. See this, guys? 1 minute candle went all the way from 16.6 all the way up to 17.25, 3.66%. Single 1 minute candle. This is weird. This is unheard of. So let's zoom back out to 4 hours, or maybe do an hour now. And you see the chart itself makes no sense either. If you look at this, I mean, what the heck even is this? Like, it's just meandering like a river with this huge wicks from the top side. And I don't know if somebody was just selling heavily, but I think this was just a big buy order that just got wicked up the order book and then got slammed back down immediately. So very strange behavior from the markets. So just be careful, especially if you're doing anything on leverage right now, because we are now entering the most dangerous part of the cycle. The volatility that you can expect right now is going to be off the charts. So you really need to be careful. And also, this is kind of the point where you're going to earn your satoshis, because if you don't get wicked out now, if you're strong and you stay in this market, you could lose 60 to 80% of your value over the course of the next days, weeks, months. But it could just as easily pop back up again. But I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. You do what you think is the right thing. But I'm just telling you right now that this is the most dangerous part of the bear bull cycle, because this is where big things are going to happen now. Okay, we're going to see huge moves up and down, and people are going to really feel like they lost everything, and they might eventually decide to sell. But if you haven't sold so far, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just what's the point of selling now? What's the point of selling now? You don't lose until you sell. You should have sold up at 69. I sold at 65. Okay, as soon as I saw that first big spike down, I waited for a little retrace back up, and then I sold. I don't know if there's any point selling now. I mean, you've lost 70% already, and what's the big deal if you lose another you know, measured from the top, another few percentage points. Measured from here, it could be another half or another 60-70%. Yes, you could definitely possibly lose that much as well. But I mean, the market's going to come back, and if you just hold strong, and you know, if this is money that you can afford to leave, you know, to aside for the next couple of years, 2-3 years potentially, you know, then there's no point selling. You know, you might as well accumulate a little bit more, you know, in these levels, and if, as long as you stay the course for the next couple of years, you'll definitely be fine. I mean, 99.9% you're going to be fine. There's no assurances here, you know, there's no certainties, there's only probabilities. But based on previous performance, there is a high degree of probability that you will do very, very well out of this over the course of next few years. If this is money that you need to pay rent with, if this is money that you need to pay food with, if this is money that you need to pay your bills with, then you're in deep trouble. Then you need to start thinking of certain strategies that are going to allow you to survive the next months and years, and without relying on making any money in crypto. Okay, or selling any money or selling any of your crypto. All right, guys. So it's serious times right now, and make sure you plan while it's quiet, so you don't do something stupid when it gets wild. Okay, do the smart moves, not the dumb moves. Okay, thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.